Good evening and welcome to the Guyana TV9 News Bulletin for Wednesday, October 15, 2025. I'm Adana Doric. In the headlines tonight, police crackdown on reckless driving as 102 die in 2025 road accidents. Nanlal moves to enforce $37 million defamation judgment against Melimel in U.S. No leniency for those who damage public property, AG warns. Government driving economic growth through digital transformation and pro-business reforms. And Guyana welcomes luxury cruise ship SH Vega. Now for the news in depth. Attorney General Anil Nanlal has formally stated that anyone found responsible for damaging public property will be held accountable and will be required to cover the cost of the repairs. His remarks follow an incident where a portion of the approach road on the newly inaugurated Barajactio Demrara River Bridge was damaged by a minibus on Monday. Common Abrams has the details.
About 1 week after the official commissioning of the Barajactio Demerara River Bridge, a minibus driver crashed into and removed several of the middle poles along the bridge's eastern approach road during an early morning accident. That driver now remains hospitalized. Speaking during his weekly program Issues in the News, the Attorney General Anil Nandlal stated that his office will take steps to recover the cost of any damage caused to public property.
Let me assure you that our government acts in an even-handed manner. If we are committed to a course of conduct, then we are committed to it. And once we are committed to that course of conduct, then whoever it is, the treatment will not be different.
The Attorney General noted that once the repair costs are assessed, his office will seek compensation on behalf of the state. He explained that similar incidents have occurred in the past, and in those cases, the state was reimbursed, adding that this situation will be no exception.
Once that information is compiled, it will be transmitted to the Attorney General office, and a letter will be dispatched, as was done on previous occasions, directed to the person believed to have caused the damage, requesting compensation. And if that letter is not satisfactorily responded to, then other legal proceedings will follow. That is the approach which was adopted on previous occasions.
The government, according to the Attorney General, has made a commitment to recover all costs when there are damages to public property. In 2023, Troy Humphrey, a driver responsible for the accident which caused damage to the Eagle Hagsbosh roundabout, was ordered to repay the government a staggering $2.1 million for repair costs or face legal proceedings. The Attorney General Chambers underscored that this action was part of a broader strategy to address reckless and negligent behavior by road users that led to the destruction of public property. The government, including public corporations and statutory authorities, will vigorously pursue compensation for damages and destruction of public assets caused by such irresponsible conduct. Calhoun Abrams, Guyana TV9 News.
Police are intensifying their nationwide crackdown on reckless driving after revealing that 91 accidents have claimed 102 lives so far in 2025. Between October 5 and 11 alone, officers charged 2,418 drivers for a range of traffic offenses, from speeding to unfit vehicles, as part of step-up efforts to make Ghana's roads safer. Here is more. The Guyana Police Force says the latest figures show an alarming rise in road fatalities, with 102 deaths recorded from 91 accidents so far this year. The statistics were shared on the latest episode of Road Safety and You, where senior officers from the traffic department broke down the causes of fatal crashes and the measures being taken to curb them.
So far for the year, I would say we have 91 accidents, resulting in 102 deaths, right? Every accident is one too many. So with that, we still continue to emphasize on safety, And what we find that speeding is still a contributing factor for injuries.
Assistant Superintendent Sean Henry identified speeding as the top cause of road deaths, followed closely by reckless overtaking and driving under the influence. He also pointed to the ongoing danger posed by motorcycles who continue to ride without helmets despite months of targeted awareness campaigns.
Speeding is still a contributing factor for injuries and deaths along our roadway. Drivers still drive at a speed which they actually can't take control of the vehicle, right? And one of the leading categories of road users we find that the loss of life more on the roadway is the motorcyclists. The motorcyclists still continue to use the road without due care and attention, driving in a reckless manner, right? And oftentimes we find out that they're not using the equipped with the safety helmet as they use the motorcycle on the roadway. And we find our accident stats so we find that the weekends still we find out the increase in the accidents on the weekends. So
Between October 5th and 11th, police slapped 2,418 traffic charges across the country, among them 195 motorists for speeding, 239 for not wearing helmets, 81 for not wearing seatbelts, 91 for tinted windscreens, 65 for defective light, and 24 operating unfit vehicles. The crackdown, the force says, is part of a renewed push to reduce reckless driving and road deaths. ASP Henry reminded road users that lasting change depends on mindset, not just enforcement. He urged all drivers to follow the 5 C's of safety driving: care, consideration, caution, common sense, and courtesy, stressing that behind every statistic lies a life lost and a grieving family. Adana Doric and the TV9 News. Guyana's economy continues to soar as the government pushes forward with bold reform to create a more business-friendly environment. Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Susan Rodriguez, says the administration's commitment to modernization through digital transformation, streamlined trade systems, and investor-friendly policies is driving confidence and growth across every sector.
Guyana's business outlook has drastically changed over the last 5 years, and under the Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali-led administration, the country will continue on an upward trajectory. Guyana's GDP grew by an estimated 43.6% in 2024, an increase from 32% in 2023. This exceptional growth was driven by both the oil sector, which expanded by nearly 58%, and the non-oil economy, which grew by 13.1%. The expansion of the non-oil sectors was due to growth in agriculture, other mining, quarrying, and manufacturing sectors, according to a private sector commission report. Speaking with entrepreneurs and investors at the recent launch of the Who's Who in Business Guyana Directory, Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce Susan Rodriguez stated that the government's commitment to modernization is evident across all sectors. She also emphasized that measures will be implemented to facilitate easier business operations.
We are in the process of digitizing all government services to make them more efficient, transparent, accessible, less susceptible to human biases, and doing this both locally and internationally. Just last week, the Ministry of Home Affairs launched the Digitized Immigration Support Services, which allows individuals to apply for work permits and other immigration services online without visiting an office. Just a few hours ago, the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority unveiled its e-services portal, enabling online applications for aircraft landing and other permits. I am particularly proud to have played a role in the conceptualization and launch of the single window system for planning and building permits.
The Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Minister Rodriguez added, will soon launch an electronic single window for trade, a transformative system that will enable businesses to submit and track applications for permits and licenses from multiple agencies through one online platform. She emphasized that President Ali has continuously been promoting Guyana globally as the land of opportunity.
In past years, Guyana has sustained double-digit economic growth, even beyond oil. We are gaining recognition as a rising trade partner on the global stage. But this momentum must be matched by innovation, resolve, and entrepreneurial courage. This directory is a scaffolding for those aspirations, a way for local actors to project themselves to global investors, to find credible partners, to accelerate sectoral linkages, and to illuminate gaps where new ventures may emerge. Guyana remains one of the fastest growing economies in the world, and increasingly, we are being recognized as an emerging player in international trade and investment. Now, our private sector must seize this moment.
Ghana is marking 5 years as an oil producer, with economic growth expected to moderate in 2025. This is due to the Liza Destiny FPSO reaching peak production in 2024 and the One Ghana FPSO starting operation in the second half of 2025. Despite this, the economy is projected to grow by 10.6%, maintaining its position as the third fastest growing economy globally. Notably, non-oil economic growth is expected to reach 13.8%, highlighting the success of economic diversification efforts, the PSC report stated. Colin Abrams, Ghana TV9 News.
And Minister of Legal Affairs Anel Nanlal announced his intention to pursue legal action in the United States to enforce a $37 million judgment granted in his favor. The ruling was issued against Melissa Atwill Holder, a US-based Guyanese social media personality also known as Melly Mel. Colin Abrams has the details in this report.
It was in August that Nadalal had received a default judgment against Melissa Atwell Holder in a civil libel proceeding he had filed against her in the High Court. Despite facing multiple civil lawsuits and losing judgments in both Guyana and the United States, Melissa Atwell Holder has consistently used her social media platforms to claim she is beyond the reach of the law. Allegedly, Atwell Holder often boasts about her perceived immunity, citing her residence in the U.S. and asserting that she owns no assets that could be seized to satisfy court rulings.
Let me assure you that our government acts in an even-handed manner. If we are committed to a course of conduct, then we are committed to it. And once we are committed to that course of conduct, then whoever it is, the treatment will not be different.
Nanlal emphasized that the law must not be seen as powerless or ineffective in confronting wrongdoings. He pointed out that Atwell Holder's actions are ongoing and continue to harm individuals and damage reputations, underscoring the need for legal intervention.
Once that information is compiled, it will be transmitted to the Attorney General office and a letter will be dispatched, as was done on previous occasions, directed to the person believed to have caused the damage, requesting compensation. And if that letter is not satisfactorily responded to, then other legal proceedings will follow. That is the approach which was adopted on previous occasions.
Nanlal stated that Atwell Holder persists in promoting the claim that she owns no assets and therefore has nothing that can be confiscated to fulfill the court's judgment. He affirmed, however, that he intends to pursue the case vigorously and without hesitation. In addition to the $37 million judgment granted to Nanlal, Atwell Holder faced another legal setback in September when the court ruled in favor of the Dr. Balwant Singh Hospital, awarding them $35 million. She has since filed an appeal in that case. In the same month in the United States, a federal judge in Brooklyn dismissed a multi-million-dollar defamation suit she had filed against fellow social media figure Rhonda Bob. Meanwhile, a separate $50 million lawsuit brought by the Minister of Public Utilities and Aviation, Deedat Indar, is still pending against her in the High Court. Colin Abrams, Ghana TV9 News.
The Guyana Tourism Authority, GTA, in collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, proudly welcomed the arrival of the luxury expedition cruise ship SH Vega, which docked at the Guyana National Shipping Corporation GNSC wharf in Georgetown earlier this week. More in this report. The Swan Hellenic Vega, operated by UK-based Swan Hellenic Cruises, brought 75 high-end passengers from various parts of the world, each eager to experience Guyana's authentic ecotourism and cultural charm. The GTA hosted a warm traditional welcome featuring a vibrant mini exhibition showcasing locally made crafts, artisanal products, and tourism materials reflecting the nation's growing creative and tourism industries. According to authority, the visit underscores Guyana's increasing visibility on the global tourism map, especially among luxury and adventure travelers seeking destinations that blend nature, culture, and authenticity. The SH Vega is known for its group focused expedition cruises traveling to some of the world's most remote and pristine locations such as Antarctica, the Antarctic, and the Amazon basin. With Ghana now added to its itinerary, the nation joins a select list of destinations appealing to eco-concise explorers and high-value travelers. Local tour operator Evergreen Adventures is coordinating on the ground excursions including visits to Kaitro Falls, one of the world's highest single-drop waterfalls, and several cultural and community-based tourism experiences across regions 4 and 8. Director of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Kamal Ramjatan, said the arrival of the SH Vega marks an important milestone in positioning Guyana as a premium destination for sustainable luxury travel. Quote, this visit by Swan Hellenic SH Vega demonstrates growing international confidence in Ghana as a safe, unique, and high-value destination, Ramjitan stated, end of quote. We're thrilled to welcome guests who value exploration, culture, and responsible travel. The Ministry of Tourism, Industry, and Commerce also commended the collaborative effort between the GTA local tour operators and port authorities in facilitating a smooth docking and guest experience. Officials say this visit not only brings economic benefits to local service providers but also highlights the potential for Ghana to attract repeat and referral tourism from high-spending international travelers. As Ghana continues to strengthen its tourism infrastructure and expand its hospitality offerings, the arrival of the SH Vega reinforced the country's reputation as a hidden gem of South America where luxury meets adventure and conservation. Adana Dore, Ghana TV9 News. Now for some heartwarming news from the northern Gaza to end our newscast. Shadi Abu Sedou's world shattered in Israeli detention when guards told him his wife and 2 children had been killed. It wasn't until his release on Monday, part of the US mediated ceasefire deal between Hamas and Israel that halted 2 years of war, that he discovered his loved ones were alive. His wife Hannah Boulal his wife Hannah Balul raced down the hallway of his family's house in Khan Yunis and leapt into his arms. He swung her in the air as they clinched to each other. Abu Sidhu kissed his children's cheek again and again, murmuring, "My love," as he held the daughter, and so I heard her voice. I heard the voice of my children. I was astonished. It cannot be explained. They were alive. I saw my wife and children alive. Imagine amid that life, he said. Abu Sidhu, a photojournalist, said he was detained at Shifa Hospital in the northern Gaza Strip on March 18, 2024. He was among 1,700 Palestinians detained by Israeli forces during the devastating war in Gaza and released on Monday, along with 250 prisoners convicted or suspected of involvement in deadly attacks, in exchange for 20 Israeli hostages held by Hamas since its October 2023 cross-border assault. And that has brought us to the end of tonight's newscast. Remember to check out our Facebook and YouTube platforms at GOY TV9 for more trending stories. I'm Adana Doric. Good night.